Datu, the desire to exceed one's program. But, someone might say, with typical practicality, what's he going on about with these 24 hours a day? I have no trouble living on 24 hours a day. I do everything I want to do and still have time for newspaper competitions. Surely it's simple to be content with 24 hours a day? To you, my dear sir, I offer my apologies. You are exactly the person I've been hoping to meet for about 40 years. Please send me your name and address and tell me how much you charge to explain your method. Instead of me talking to you, you should be teaching me. Please step forward. I'm convinced you exist, and that I haven't met you yet is my loss. Meanwhile, until you appear, I'll continue chatting with my fellow strugglers. Those countless souls who feel, more or less painfully, that the years keep slipping by without getting their lives into proper working order. If we analyze that feeling, we'll see it's primarily one of unease, of expectation, of looking forward, of aspiration. It's a constant discomfort, like a skeleton at the feast of all our enjoyments. We go to the theater and laugh, but between acts it raises a bony finger at us. We rush to catch the last train, and while waiting, it paces beside us, asking, "What have you done with your youth? What are you doing with your age?" You might say this feeling of looking forward, of aspiration, is part of life itself. True, but there are degrees. A man might want to go to Mecca. His conscience tells him he should go to Mecca. He sets out either with a tour group or on his own. He might never reach Mecca. He might drown before getting to Port Said. He might die on the coast of the Red Sea. His desire might remain unfulfilled. Unfulfilled aspiration may always trouble him, but he won't be tormented in the same way as the man who, desiring to reach Mecca, never leaves his neighborhood. It's something to have left the neighborhood. Most of us haven't left. We haven't even inquired about the cost of a tour. And our excuse is that there are only 24 hours in the day. If we further analyze our vague, uneasy aspiration, we'll see it stems from a fixed idea that we ought to do something beyond what we are obligated to do. We are obliged by various written and unwritten codes to maintain ourselves and our families in health and comfort, to pay our debts, to save, to increase our prosperity by increasing our efficiency. A difficult task, one that few achieve, often beyond our skill, yet even if we succeed, we are not satisfied. The skeleton is still with us, even when we realize the task is beyond our skill, that our powers can't cope with it. We feel we would be less discontented if we gave our already overtaxed powers something more to do. And this is indeed the case. The desire to accomplish something outside our formal program is common to all who have evolved past a certain level. Until an effort is made to satisfy that desire, the sense of waiting for something to start will remain, disturbing the peace of the soul. This desire has been called many names. It is a form of the universal desire for knowledge. It is so strong that men who have dedicated their lives to acquiring knowledge have been driven by it to seek even more. Even Herbert Spencer, in my opinion, the greatest mind that ever lived, was often compelled by it into enjoyable side inquiries. I imagine that for most people conscious of the desire to live, those with intellectual curiosity, the aspiration to exceed formal programs often takes a literary shape. They want to embark on a course of reading. The British people are becoming more and more literary. But I would point out that literature doesn't encompass the entire field of knowledge, and that the desire to improve oneself, to increase one's knowledge, can be fulfilled in ways other than through literature. I will address these ways later. Here I simply point out to those who have no natural sympathy with literature that literature is not the only wellspring of knowledge.